Hmm. Hello, everyone. I am Kenton David Bell. I am the creator of the TELOS Thesis channel. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. So, I'm going to tell you a brief history about Telos. It was about, let's see, 13 years ago, which was 2013, 2012, 2013. I had a shift that started then after years of doing transformational work and spiritual healing full time for a couple decades already. I had an experience that, well, let me just tell you how it went. So it was a period of about 21 days. I go to sleep in my bed. And as I lay down on the first night of this 21-day period, as I'm getting ready to turn off the light, or I turned off the light, and I get the sense of literally the Grim Reaper standing in his hood and robe and scythe in hand, standing at the foot of my bed. Well, I decided to ignore him that first night, thinking he would just go away. Second night, same thing happens. Grim Reaper standing at the foot of my bed. Now, mind you, I literally am seeing him standing there, but this is my inner world that's going on, reflected out into the outer world. And this time I just asked him without any fear. I said, "Well, are you here for me?" And he just kind of shook his head, "No." And I went to sleep. This went on again the next night. And I started asking, "Well, are you here for people I knew?" Thought maybe it was family member or a client or a friend. Who knew? And he just shook his head, "No." So this went on for about 21 nights, and I went through a whole litany of why the Grim Reaper would be standing at the foot of my bed. And for the life of me, I just couldn't figure out. Sometimes I'm really slow and dense, I think. And it was about the 21st night, I asked him, "Is it because I'm coming off the wheel of karma?" And he nodded his head yes and left. And so I just went about my business. I didn't think a whole lot about it after that, except I'd ponder it now and then. I didn't feel any different really than I had been feeling. And it was, I would say, within a month or so, um, I started getting this little knocking on my inner door, I guess you would say, of an energy that wanted to come through. So I let it through, let it open. And this energy told me that it was calling itself telos, and I was unfamiliar with the term. It is a ancient Greek word coined by Aristotle, and it means ultimate purpose, in purpose, the ultimate aim, and kind of the meaning of why we do everything we do. It's the end goal of all that we've done, the accumulation of all that we've done. That's how I've taken it to be after looking it up and also then conversing with energies that call itself telos. And telos was telling me that it's a multidimensional, multigalactic energy from source coming through the throne energies. Okay. And the throne energies meaning, the throne of God. And I'm not religious, but this is how it's coming through. And I've channeled ascended masters and angels before, so it wasn't completely unfamiliar. And I I started pushing it away as if I wasn't trusting it or ready for it. I think it's mostly the second one there. I wasn't ready for it. And so this is about 13 years ago. And I kind of, I guess you would say, moved in circles for the next 10 years. There was a lot of life review going on for me. My practice was small during that period. I wasn't doing a whole lot of transformational work. I was outwardly, I was doing a lot of work internally. There was a lot of reviewing of past lives during this period of time. And I'd be pulled into a past life and I would see how my behaviors and actions in this lifetime were affected by what we call bleed through coming from past lives. Did a lot of clearing around this. At the same time, too, I remember one thing that stands out in relationship to the telos was I was watching a documentary on a place called Non Madal. It's in Micronesia on the island of Pompeii. And they have these old ruins that are built out of these gigantic rocks that, like the pyramids and many places in South America, that it was impossible for the technology they believed they had at the time to build these things. But Non Madal is this actually huge city. They've realized that a lot of it is sunken under the water there too. It's on kind of a shoreline, and it's magnificent. And as soon as I started watching this, I was pulled into what I would call past life memory, and I was there. I had a memory of being there. I had two very distinct memories of being there. One was I was a very basic being that just reacted to every noise around me, like a very primitive, I wouldn't even call it human. But every sound in the forest made me kind of jump and react. Very, very reactive, just basic survival. Everything was reactionary. That's the best way to say it. And I didn't have any much intellect or wisdom, it seemed. There was none of that executive function that humans have now. And then another memory that came shortly after that, and non-Madal too, and it was while watching this documentary when they showed a particular part of the structure. I had this memory of all of a sudden, I am now, let's say, cognizant. I had the ability to reason, intellect, and I had a strong sense that there were other beings there that were much more advanced than I was or any humans at the time. And so those memories went on for a little while. In that second memory, it became very clear that I was working with extraterrestrials, or they were working with me and others. And they were, say, augmenting our DNA. And it took the experience I had, it took me from a very basic reactionary type of being into a being that had cognizance, intellect, the ability to reason. And now, whether these memories are factual or not, I believe what I was being shown was the evolutionary help, let's say, that humans have been given. And I'm not the only one who proposes this out there into the world these days. There's many people who talk about this, people I would call more expert than I am. I don't consider myself an expert. And so that happened, and then years went by. There was still more clearing of past lives. I won't go into any of those now because it doesn't really fit the story here I'm telling and the premise I'm setting up for the TELOS Thesis channel and all the material that comes across for it. Well, fast forward to the last couple of years, and telos started coming in really strong. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, some of you know that I had a bunch of skin cancer. You can see the scar; it's actually healed well, but this was there was a lot of skin cancer that went down into my skeletal system, and so I had a very serious comprehensive surgery on this side of the face. And I've had probably about 12 procedures since then, less serious, but still skin cancer. I grew up in Hawaii and California and was in the sun all my life, and I love the sun. And wear sunscreen, people. Put on hats, wear sunscreen. Save yourself from the agony of skin cancer and getting it cut out or radiation or whatever method they use. It's not fun. So TELOS started coming through really powerfully about 2.5, 3 years ago. And I had this major surgery. Then I had developed an infection from that. And they gave me something like 14 rounds of antibiotics over about a year period. And I was so ill. I honestly didn't think I was going to survive. I was in bed, sweating a lot. And I kept thinking I was going to get over it. So I didn't really tell people about it a whole lot. My partner at the time, Billy, who's my partner now, she, thank God, took good care of me. And, I was on death's door, it felt like. I don't think I was necessarily now when I look back on it, but that's how it felt at the time. And since then, Telos has been coming through more and more. And Telos is this energy that is a multi-dimensional galactic energy, partially galactic, also cosmic. We'll get into that later, maybe. But it's here to help with the ascension on the planet. So this last year in particular, I've been channeling a lot of information about Telos. And it's giving us the guidance, the tools, the perspective and attitude to help with, first of all, myself, but also humanity on the planet at this time as we're going through this great shift that we're going through. And as I go through it, boy, my whole life has changed. It's like I don't even recognize that old Kenton anymore, which is a good thing, I guess. A lot of the things that interest me in the past don't interest me at all anymore. My main interest is sitting in the Telos energy, being in it, developing it, and sharing it with others like yourself. So this channel, TELOS Thesis on YouTube, is where I'm going to be sharing this information. I'm going to be starting to do videos like this all the time. I've been waiting for this time. They told me, my guidance, Telos said, Ken, it's time now. So I hope that you're able to extrapolate something out of what I share to support you on your channel. Now, I still do private sessions like I always have, and I'll be also offering online and in-person workshops to help integrate this energy for people. Mostly what Telos is an uncovering of our true nature, working with the DNA and the different systems in our body, teaching us certain new beliefs that we can embody and to help us discern the new from the old is a good way to say it, I think. Everybody I've shared it with so far finds it incredibly organic and natural, and they feel great peace, well-being, upliftment, inspiration. I am blown away by how much it's changed my life and is continuing to. And I've, at least for the foreseeable future, dedicating myself to channeling and sharing this information as well as embodying it myself. I'm excited about this journey, and I'm excited that you're here to share it with me. So I thank you very much for the time you've taken to listen to this video. This is the first one. They're going to start coming out, I don't know, a few times a week, maybe daily, depending on how spirit nudges me. I'm not going to do anything that's forced, that feels inauthentic in any way, shape, or form. while we do have to live in this world and we need money in the material world, I'm not doing it for money as well. I'm doing it out of, I guess you would say, service, but truly it's really selfish, self-centered that I feel so good while I'm doing it. And I want more people to feel that good around me. So that's my motivation. Anyhow, we're going to keep this video kind of short. It's the first one, many more to come. I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it. Look forward to our next video. Have a great day.